what's up, guys? I'm Kelley Norton, realtor here in the Valley for over 23 years. And today I have a special guest that I'm going to be interviewing. And this is David. We'll let him introduce himself in a moment, but he is an attorney here in the Valley. We are going to answer some questions for you on how to take title in Arizona. So please stay tuned for this video. This is one you don't want to miss.
Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at eXp Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate.
So welcome to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, again, I'm Kelley Norton. I'm a Valley native and a real estate agent of over 23 years. I'm also an associate broker here at eXp Realty. And if you guys like the content today, remember to subscribe to the channel and click that little bell. That way you are notified when I put up new videos. So this guy over here, David HagEstad, I will let you introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, everyone. I'm David HagEstad from HagEstad Law Group. My brother and I started a firm about 4.5, 5 years ago together, and it was a dream that we'd always had, and it's worked out, and it's been great. It's been one of the best things we do. We do focus here in Phoenix on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and those types of issues. So if you need any help there, just give us a call at HagEstad Law Group. Yeah.
Perfect. And we do have his information on screen. We'll also have it at the end of the video and also in the description for the video on the channel here. Or you can always call me and text me because that is the best way to reach me. So today we are going to talk about how to take title in Arizona. So when you're purchasing a home, a lot of my viewers have purchased homes before, but just in case you are a first-time home buyer, when you are doing all your title paperwork, you have to decide how you want to take title. Can you explain to the viewers what that choice means?
Okay, so the choice of taking title, how you take it, the two main things are tenants in common and then joint tenancy with right of survivorship. Okay. Those are kind of the two general that you can do. The default is going to be tenants in common. And okay. Tenants in common really just means that you or how many people own it, it's usually a couple, you two own it 50-50. Okay. And so when one person passes away, their 50% goes to whoever they say it goes to. Okay. It doesn't automatically go to that other joint owner.
Right.
That's tenants in common. Okay. Then joint tenancy with right of survivorship is you have to take that intentionally. There's an affidavit that you'll have to fill out with your title company at the time of closing. But what you're going to be doing is joint tenancy with right of survivorship. That means something. Right of survivorship means when one joint owner passes away, their interest automatically passes over to the other joint owners. So you start out with 50% ownership, and when the other person passes away, now that individual person owns all of the property in their name.
Got it.
That's kind of the main thing. The reason you would want to take it one way or the other is just depends on your family relationship and what your overall estate planning goals are.
Okay, perfect. So a lot of my viewers have, this may be their second or third marriage, and it's a blended family, and maybe they have heirs over here, and then this family over here has heirs. So in that situation, what would your advice be on what way would be the best to consider taking title?
Okay, so if we're just talking about taking title, as opposed to any more estate planning like trusts or wills or anything like that, just for the purposes of the discussion of tenants in common versus joint tenancy with right of survivorship, if it's a blended family where you have kids from other marriages, you have, other beneficiaries that you would want, that you've acquired these things over your life and you want them to go to your family, and that's very common.
Right.
Tenants in common would be the way to go. The only complication of that is whether or not you're married. So if you're second or third marriage in and you take this property together, it's going to be community property. So the spouse is going to, if you pass away, the spouse is going to have some interest in that property. It's just your kids are also going to take a smaller percentage.
Okay.
So it does complicate things a little bit. And I always talk to my clients, if you're in that scenario where it's second, third, it's a late life marriage, you have adult kids, let's take the title in something else other than tenants in common or joint tenancy with right of survivorship. Let's look at some actual estate planning. Right. That way we can make sure it goes exactly
it's
where
really clear and defined.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Okay. Now let's say, and I've had this situation as well, two people purchase a home together that aren't married. So let's say they're either two friends or people that are dating and they're engaged, maybe they haven't gotten married. So is that a similar case where you would just go ahead and take it so it goes automatically over to the other person?
Yeah, so it really depends. I mean, if it was me, I would want it to be joint tenancy with right of survivorship, just because that's kind of the goal of the relationship. And if it's a long-term couple,
Right.
you plan on getting married, those sorts of things. I think that's a part of the commitment process is we're joining our assets together, right? So I would want to take a joint tenancy with right of survivorship in the event that the other person did predecease me. But if you're looking to protect that asset and you're not married, and you want it to make sure it goes to where you want it to go, tenants in common is definitely the way to go, because Arizona doesn't recognize common law marriage. You're
Right.
either married or you are not married. So there is no in between. So if you're not married and you're looking to protect that asset from maybe your significant other or friend or something like that, take it in tenants in common, because then they're not going to be able to make a claim for that portion of for your interest in the property if you pass away.
Okay, perfect. And why we're talking about this and, Arizona not recognizing that. So here is a question for you. If somebody owns a property and they move in a boyfriend or move someone into their home, what are the laws in Arizona to where that person would have a stake at that home at that point?
The only way to do that would be it's called deeding an interest over. You'd have to transfer an interest in that home to them.
Okay.
They could try to make it's getting a little complicated, but it could be like a contribution claim. So say they come in and they move in and they help you fix up the property in some way, make significant improvements, add solar, add the porch, those sorts of things. If you pass away, they may not have an actual ownership interest in the home, but they could go against your estate and say, I increased the value of this house by X number of dollars. And so that could complicate things. It's really, if you do this stuff, you really need to make sure that that's what you really want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, too, it's really important to reach out to someone like David and have these conversations before you do enter into a long-term commitment like that, moving someone into your home or purchasing a home with someone. And we do have other videos that we're going to have coming out as well. So if you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, because we are going to be having other videos about estate planning and the paper vehicle that can actually protect you as well. So we have a bunch of different content that he is going to be on other videos. So please, again, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be also with the little bell, you'll be notified that we put up new videos. And when you see this guy here, you'll know that it's another video on the topic.
People will call the office and they'll say, I bought a house with my girlfriend, and well, now we're split. We're breaking up. She won't leave. So it's like, I want to evict her, but she also owns part of the property. What do we do? She's refusing to sell. Then it's the only way to take care of all of this is through what's called a partition action. And you actually have to file suit and ask a court to,
Wow.
like, either if it's just a house, they're going to require the house to be sold. If there's land or something like that, they can be split, the court will split it. But that's really the only way. You have to file suit to get rid of your ex-girlfriend. Like, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why
Sounds
why I ended that last statement with, like, make sure it's something you really want to do.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, then you really run the risk of you've got someone in your home and you can't get rid of them without
Right.
selling your home.
Right.
And depending on the market, depending on the way things go, you may not get all your money back. You may end up losing money on
Right.
the deal because, they're there, they have an ownership interest, and they want money too.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this is similar to the situation. I don't know if you follow Vanderpump Rules at all,
No.
but Tom Sandoval and Ariana, they were together. Infidelity happened, and they're both like, she's in her room and he's in his room, and he wants to buy her out, and she's like, "No, you're the one who broke the home. I'm not moving out."
Right.
So she's like, "No." So it's like this whole,
that's exactly
like,
that's
my foot down and that's it.
I've heard that story so many times.
I'm sure you have.
And
yeah.
and so that's the problem is you and I've done a couple of partition actions in the last couple of years, both here and for our Montana office, and it's largely the same thing. Like, whatever, all 50 states have kind of the same partition rules, and it's a matter of right. You can partition a house. You can make the house be sold. It's called partition in sale, or just a straight partition in kind. Partition in kind is splitting it around. Partition in sale is selling the property. And you can you can force the house to be sold, regardless of whether or not the other person wants to sell.
Yeah.
It's a right that you have by statute. And so when you purchase a house with someone that you're not, married or committed to in a long-term fashion, if it's just like, we should do this, let's buy a house.
Right.
Like, think about it before you really do it, because once it happens, that person has rights in that home too, and you can't do anything about it without court intervention.
Wow.
Otherwise, if they won't sell, then you have to go to court to get rid of them. It's expensive. It's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's going to take 6 months to a year at the very least.
My next question was, how long is that process?
The partition portion of it is usually pretty quick, but there's never just the partition claim. Somebody always files a fraud claim or a breach of contract claim or something like that, and then it becomes like a real lawsuit or a contribution claim, which is very common, and it becomes a real lawsuit. It takes 6 months, a year and a half. It could go on for a long, long time.
Wow. So moral of the story, get legal advice first, and remember to think about what it is that you're wanting to achieve with, the moving forward with buying the home or moving someone into your home, because obviously there's a lot of legalities to that. For sure.
With anything that you do, usually there's significantly legal ramifications. Just know that.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, David, for being here. So again, if you like the content on the whole attorney talk that we have here with David, subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more videos with him answering legal questions for you. So thank you guys again. Call me or text me. It's the best way to reach me if you are looking to relocate to or within the Phoenix and surrounding areas. Take care.